Should they be allowed to vote on my gun rights? And rapists? Once they get out, do you think they should be able to vote on my gun rights? If I should be able to
She's
defend
doing it.
myself?
She's ramping it up to 11.
I'm gonna say yes because people.
Oh, fuck yeah! Did not break. Did not break. Held down. Fuck yeah.
Should 16-year-olds be allowed to vote?
Yeah, I actually do think young people should be allowed to vote.
Okay.
Younger, especially younger people.
Should felons be allowed to vote?
Yeah, I think they still should be able to vote.
In jail?
In jail too, yeah. Prison, yeah.
So felons have the right to vote in jail. Do they have the right to have a gun in jail?
No.
Oh. Well, why not? They're still American.
That's the gotcha. I mean, it's gotta be a couple steps. You gotta ramp up to that. You can't just out of the gates go straight to the gun thing.
If they're game bangers in jail, they'll kill each other.
Oh, okay. But they can vote how I live my life.
Yeah.
I guess the bar is a little lower now. They don't have as many clips of the ownage. Is that it?
Democrats want to fundamentally change the way we do elections in this country. They want to do away with photo ID requirements and allow 16-year-olds to vote. Let's see what the people at Clearwater think and if they even know that this is happening. If you guys like my videos, you can go to patreon.com/CaitlinBennett to support.
No, don't do it. Don't get her more bodyguards.
Only 5 things. You tell me yes or no if you would be okay with these things being implemented in the U.S. Here we go. Should American elections be completed in 1 day or 10 days?
10.
I would say 10 as well.
Okay.
Need a little bit longer for everybody to just get actual decision and have like an accurate count instead of just being all over the place in 1 day.
Okay. All right, so election season.
Like couple.
Again, the entire tactic is just ramping things up to 11 after the answer, right? Like 10 days is a season now? Wow. God damn.
Few months, three to 6 months or so.
3 to 6 months for an election?
Well, you know, just to get everybody's side, just to hear everything.
Should American elections last 1 day or 10 days?
Oh. 10 days.
10 days?
Yeah.
A day. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe a few days.
You think people should go...
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about people casting their votes. Should they have 1 day, like traditionally it's been, to cast their votes, or should they be awarded 10 days to go and cast their votes on any of that day?
I think
10 days.
I think 1 day. Because it's
People,
always been like that.
what if they have 1 day that they have to vote? They're busy, you know? They need a longer time. They need, like, what if on Monday is election day? Oh, I'm busy the entire day. People with kids and stuff, they go off of work, go get the kids.
But again, is this even a thing? Like, is this the thing being discussed in the U.S.? Is this like the Democrats are trying to push for the 10-day voting period?
10 days.
10 days?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you want to change it? Because right now we have election day. You want election 10 days. Why?
Oh, I just feel like there should be more time, you know?
Which is so reasonable, too. It's just like, I just feel that, like, if you give us 1 day on a Tuesday, that's why the lineups go around blocks and then why people, like, can't eat or shit because they have to spend 9 hours waiting in line just to vote. You know? Just seems perfectly reasonable to be like, why not more?
We should have a longer period.
Okay.
You know, that's just me, though. That's
Right.
my personal preference.
Yeah, because 4 years is not enough to decide when to cast your vote.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate the honesty. Should American elections last for 1 day or 10 days?
I think 10.
I'd say 10. Yeah.
10.
Gives more people the opportunity.
Yeah.
That way there's not.
This is another one of those, here's where the Overton window is versus Liberty Hangout. The monarchists. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do. When you're a monarchist, most of your choices are going to be a little behind the times.
So many like people rushing to get there on the same day.
Has that historically been a problem, you think?
I mean, this year there was just, I think it was this year because you could do it so many ways, but then with the way everything happened and like all the counting and everything, it was just a whole
It's also really hard for a lot of people to actually get votes with certain, I don't know, minority issues. So I would say...
I'm just talking about casting the vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
it's
say
still
10
harder
days.
for some people. Yeah, so I would say 10.
It's harder for who to vote?
Yeah,
Who?
like minorities.
It's harder for minorities to vote?
They get less options and things like that. It was actually easier for the cast-in ballots for them than how it is with certain ways with like the regular actually standing in line and stuff like that. It gets a little complicated.
I mean, have like there's not perfect clarity in terms of how to, I guess, express the entire sentiment, but the core is there. The foundation is there. That makes me happy. I'm like, oh yeah, nice. Okay. All right.
It's your ballot and things like that. It's just a whole system problem.
Talk about inmates. Should felons be allowed to vote?
Yes, most definitely.
Debate lord with
Yeah,
vacation
I think
normies.
once
Yeah,
they
no
get
shit.
out, they should be able to vote. You know, I don't think it's fair just because they're locked up in the system. You know, they made a mistake, but if they have a second chance to be out, they should be able to vote.
Fuck yeah.
Do you think mass murderers should dictate if I have the right to defend myself with the firearms, the Second Amendment? Should they be allowed to vote on my gun rights? And rapists? Once they get out, do you think they should be able to
Don't
vote
fall
on
for
my
it.
gun rights if I should be able to
She's
defend
doing it.
myself?
She's ramping it up to 11.
I'm gonna say yes because people.
Oh, fuck yeah. Did not break. Held down. Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna say that everybody stays the same.
right.
I know some murderers who turned into, good people.
Yeah.
So, not everybody stays the same. So,
Again, so reasonable too. Such a bright sunny day, enjoying myself on the beach. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I know you may come from a different background than myself, but yes, I know people who were murderers and they're not bad people. It was kind of like it happened because of circumstance more than it did because they were just fundamentally born that way or anything like that. And they're rehabilitated now. So yeah, I think they should have a right to vote.
gun rights or not, people are gonna be people. It's just what's inside them that matters.
Should felons be allowed to vote? Yes or no?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I don't know.
I think it kind of depends on what they're a felon for, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like if depending on how they got out, like I don't know if it was if they served their time and
I have
they
more
had
days.
a chance to make like a difference and prove that they have changed, then I don't know. I feel like it would depend. I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
Is he violent? Felons probably shouldn't be allowed. They don't have good.
Oh yeah, obviously they're gonna crack in a second. She didn't even have to ramp it up there. It didn't have to like if she was like, "What about murders and rapists?" They would be like, "No, God, no! Oh, please, no! Destroy the tapes."
Yeah, it's like
Rapists in jail should be allowed to tell me how I should live or dictate who
Okay. So she's ramping it up on this one. So let's see.
my president is.
I mean, that makes sense, yeah, but
I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
What about a mass murderer? Do you think he has the best opinions for how this country should be run? Do you think he should dictate the rest of it for all of us?
I guess not, but it also depends on like their sentence, and that's hard to like.
But there's also people who have done horrible crimes that haven't been caught, and they're out here voting. So you don't know.
Yeah, that's true. So felons have the right
Half
to
measure.
vote in jail. Do they have the right to have a gun in jail?
No.
Oh. Well, why not? They're still American
Because
citizens.
they're gangbangers in jail, they'll kill each other.
Oh, okay. But they can vote how I live my life.
Yeah.
I love the consistency, though. I have to say.
It's kind of like it's like a woke martini. There's just more olives than anything. Just a lot of that, like a lot of bitterness in there. But there's some goodness too. There's some good parts.
I love the consistency. I'll give you points for that one, even though you're totally wrong. Should felons be allowed to vote?
Yeah, I mean, they have opinions too, you know what I mean? And they're part of like America.
I would say no, because felons, they actually know what they did to get in trouble. So as a repercussion, you don't get to vote. So you lost your
That change your mind?
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit. But like, I don't know. I think everyone's counts. So
Yeah. I personally don't want rapists telling me what I should probably do.
Okay, I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking of like, I was not even thinking about that. Yeah, you're right.
Should felons be allowed to vote?
I say yes because it's still like their right to vote. I don't see why that should be taken away just because they're a felon, just because they made bad decisions in their life.
So do you
Just so we're clear here, the argument from Monarchy Hangout is basically that they are a second class of citizen. That if by definition they are in prison or they're jailed for whatever reason, that means that they are not of sound mind to be able to have the right to vote.
support felons buying guns?
A little bit, because we still need to be out here, be able to protect ourselves from any type of
That's a security guard,
danger
right?
that we can run into. So I wouldn't just say felons shouldn't be able to not be able to purchase. They should still have some type of limit to it, but still be able to have some type of concealed to carry.
Should felons be allowed to vote?
I think so. I know they're not,
It just
but
depends, I guess, on the severity of the felony. I really don't even know
I don't know
enough
what
about
being a felon would have anything to do with whether who was the president of the United States.
Well, voting is much more than that. Should a mass murder dictate voting on gun rights to defend ourselves with?
Oh, no. Okay. No, I guess not.
Severity of the felony.
Oh, that was an easy break. Okay, let's go back to based.
Okay.
Younger, especially younger people, because they have a really, you never know what a young person could be thinking. You know, some 16-year-olds are very mature.
You think someone who might not even have a job, who doesn't pay taxes, should have to have a say in what goes on with our laws?
I don't want poor people voting, and then I guess by that rule, yeah, I also don't want younger people voting. So that's how I correlate those two. So if you don't pay taxes or have a job, you're poor.
That's the thing right there. I think that's where it separates, because if you don't have a job, you ain't paying no taxes, you ain't got no say. But if you're doing something, you're paying taxes something, then
What happened? What happened? You were so based, my dude. God damn. You're agreeing with that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if they're poor, fuck them. Then you don't have a say.
you know, you should have my thing is, if you have a job and you're paying taxes, you should be able to vote.
Dude, that's the only people who should be allowed to vote.
Exactly what she said. 110%.
No.
Based. Should 16-year-olds be allowed to
No!
That's a tough one. Because I think they're easily persuaded.
I mean, if
by
they're
their
able
peers,
to
by
drive a car.
And TikTok.
by their parents. The TikTok, yeah. Dad will say, vote for this guy. The kid's gonna vote for this guy. You know, I'll take you out to eat, get ice cream after, whatever.
Well, don't be surprised that she said based. Based actually used to be used a lot more by like the alt-right, and then it got co-opted and adopted by the left. I don't know if it was one of those revenge things. It's like, hey, you took Pepe for a little while, so we're taking based, but...
That might work on me, actually. Not really, just kidding. I know who to vote for because I'm not stupid. How does the skin color determine the difficulty of casting a vote? I'm confused.
How does it determine this?
The difficulty of casting a vote, yeah.
Because we've already put in difficulties. Everything's based off of where racism and a lot
Hold
of our
strong, hold strong.
founding
She's gonna try and break you on
issues
this
came
one.
from those. Everything was built off of it. White privilege came first. And so everything else is just like, there's still like redlining that goes on and things like that. So their communities aren't supported as much. So they don't get casting ballots that are in their city and things like that. It's all far away. And like when they already don't have enough money, and like maybe they work that day and things like that, like they have to support their families, they're already at the lower end of the stick. Like they don't get it. They don't get that chance.
Should photo ID be required to vote?
I know it's the edit, but that was half decent. You know, there's I feel like maybe there's gonna be a clip in a couple seconds where Caitlyn, like, she's saving that as like the final dunk. But I feel like if she was like, how does redlining stop them from voting? I feel like it would probably fall apart around there.
I don't see why that matters. I think you should just be able to vote. I mean, I know they got this thing against, you know, inmates voting and whatnot, but I feel like, oh, really? It's crazy. But I do feel like photo ID shouldn't be required. I mean, if they want to know who you are, sure, but it shouldn't be required. That's just me.
You think anybody should just walk in willy-nilly and be like, my name's Greg, I'm here to vote?
Okay, maybe you're right.
How do they know it's a U.S. citizen?
You're right. Okay, yes, ID.
Okay.
No!
I got a point. Should photo ID be required to vote?
Yes.
Don't give her points.
Professionals
Yep.
who have literally just been.
Can they obtain photo IDs?
Oh my gosh, they've been discriminated against in the workplace. That's a huge issue. If you get one single blemish on your criminal record, what happens to you? What happens to your chances of employment? Now there's a situation where if you get blemishes on your credit record, what happens to your chances of employment?
Can I get photo IDs?
Can you?
Yes.
Do you know black people?
Yes.
How many black people do you know?
I don't know all of you. I have a lot of friends. Should I go?
I don't know all of you. but I'm trying. Oh, I'm trying. Give me some time, okay? There's a lot of black people to know.
Everyone count them? I don't know.
So have you asked them this question?
I've been asking lots of, and strangers, not even just black people I don't know. Yes, they can get photo IDs.
It's important to ask the people that you know, not just about them, but about their families and their
They all have photo IDs. Yeah, I noticed. You're not white.
I think she might be the most based.
Joe Biden recently said that photo ID should be banned for voting because black people don't have access because they don't know how to use a computer. I just want to ask, do you know how to use a computer?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got to hear Joe Biden. You know how to. I'm sure everybody here knows how to use a computer.
Still my man, though.
He's still your man. He doesn't even think you know how to use a computer.
Bad comments, you know. It's people to people. They're gonna say what they're gonna say. You know, hey.
Their access to certain types of paperwork, because people who move a lot, people who have a lot of different situations, they don't have certain types of paperwork. Try to go get a social security card right now.
Can black people get photo IDs?
In the middle of a pandemic, try and go get a social security card or the documents that you need to be able to get a photo ID, and you'll understand that there are so many barriers to getting a photo ID.
Specifically for black people.
If you are a black person, you are at a lot of times in a lower socioeconomic status. Not all the time, but the studies show that even trying to earn a living, right? Black people don't earn as much as white people do, right? So
that's not true.
Even when you drive a car, you're gonna have a chance of.
Are you just straight walking away? Holy fuck. Got him. Yeah, got him. Another fucking wrecked. Holy shit.
You're gonna have a chance of getting tickets, right? So if you don't have a driver's license, maybe you have to catch the bus to go where you need to go. Is that a barrier? Yes. Do black people have more barriers in terms of a lot of things in life? Yes.
All right, so back to the original question. Do you think photo ID should be required for voting?
The fuck was the point of all that? God damn. It's just like I need to lord over you like a plantation owner for a little bit while you actually teach me a thing or two about systemic racism and oppression.
I think that the voter registration system, as it stood before Stacey Abrams got cheated out of her office.
Oh, she got cheated.
Was definitely an issue, right?
She got cheated. So you know people who say that elections get cheated or
so now that the changes
terrorists. You know that, right?
So now that the terrorists actually attacked the Capitol.
I'm assuming this was near the end of the day because like she's a little bit more sunburned and like just heart's not in it anymore. Like just I know the thing I'm supposed to ramp it up to 11 now, but now it's just like you know if you talk about that you're actually one of us, and then we're basically it's like the Holocaust. Have you heard of what Tina Karan is? Like it's. Okay, I'm good.
Oh my gosh. They were attacking the AutoZone or the police precinct in Minneapolis. Those were terrorists.
So this is exactly what you gotta have. This is what you need. You gotta have these cyber conversations.
Man, you think men or women and people breaking windows are terrorists. What's happening? You watch CNN? You need more Liberty Hangout. If you want real news and real information.
You're doing a plug in the middle of the conversation. Holy shit. Wrecked. Go to patreon.com/ I would just be like, what the fuck?
Voting, but then you want to require voter ID because typically and historically it's always been the white liberals who say that voter ID should be banned because black people don't have access to getting voter IDs. Just like Joe Biden, he said the black community really doesn't know how to use computers.
I think it's...
Where's that quote from? Like, I understand attributing racist quotes to Joe Biden because he's got a handful. I mean, he did a lot of racist things in his time. Biden didn't tweet about minorities not being able to use the internet. February 18th, President Joe Biden tweeted that comments on minorities not being able to use the internet were taken out of contents. The assessment, false. This tweet is fabricated. The facts, a fake tweet made to appear it came from Biden's official Twitter account at Joe Biden, circulated on social media following remarks he made it at a CNN town hall on February 16th. The phony tweet that was shared as an image on social media states, my comment regarding minorities not being able to use the internet was taken out of contents. It's not that they don't know how to use it, it's just they don't know any better. Those people don't know about computers because they lack resources, education, overall commitment in their communities. It's not that they're dumb, it's just they don't know how to do anything. Hope this clears it up. Multiple Facebook users shared the bogus tweet. I'm going to assume that all minorities that voted for him are okay with how he thinks about minorities, wrote one Facebook user who shared a false post. So it's just 100% a lie, and she's just spreading it like it's factual. Cool. Well, I guess, yeah, I shouldn't have expected any different.
Thing about how people can find it harder to get it, but I don't know, you want Americans to vote for their country, so you want that photo ID just in case. It's just a protective thing to me, but it just depends on where you stand on certain subjects.
Should photo ID be required?
I mean, maybe. I guess it might help to know who's who, I guess.
Yep. Do you have a different opinion? Photo ID?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much say, yeah, to know, like, age and who you are and where you're from, I guess, you know?
Do you think if someone posts election misinformation, do you think they should have to go to jail?
If they post election misinformation?
If they spread election misinformation.
You're kind of incriminating yourself, because y'all did that a fuck ton. So did all your friends. So did everyone. Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, you name it, Tucker Carlson, they were all on board the train. Ben Shapiro at least played it a little close to chest. He was a little more safe than the rest of y'all.
At the end of the day, it's how you respond to it that matters. You know that's really what it is. Because if you respond in a different way that's violent and provocative, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna go somewhere. But if
that was poopy. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our glorious gods, Xander Corvus and I'm Rav, may you shower us with glory and smite our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we serve at your leisure, your grace. To our lords, Tofox, Bisexual Black Gamer, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeffrey Lamb, Alexander Thaler, and Hans Josephine, we shall carry your banner high into the fields of battle. To our Knights of the Round Table, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Kale Kotka, The Great Pudini, Phone Jenny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Thomas Barrington, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chitoro, Goofalankius, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Constance Joyce Lacheris. We lift our glasses of ale and we salute you.